Antoine Semenyo and Kudus Mohammed in particular. Kudus Mohammed has been offered a bumper deal. And today, I'll be doing this here with Delali, discussing if Kudus Mohammed should take that deal to Saudi Arabia. Kudus Mohammed has become a topic of discussion recently, and for context, let me read out a tweet for those who have not seen it. But Al Nassr are offering £100 million bid for West Ham's Kudus Mohammed. 4 of attacking Premier League targets, including Mohammed Semenyo and Luis Diaz. Nassr have made an approach to Kudus in January. They made an approach to Kudus in January after seeing a €90 million bid from Mohammed rejected. Kudus has a £120 million clause for any Saudi move that's in his contract. A different club in the Premier League is £85 million. Nassr not yet sure if Kudus is prepared, but confident West Ham will sell for below the Saudi clause, which is only valid from July 1st to 10th. Quite a mouthful, quite a heavy amount. Delali, should Kudus Mohammed take this deal?
I think it starts with West Ham United first, because first of all, it's West Ham United. Because if you look at the deal, it doesn't really talk about how much Kudus will be earning. It's about how much
West Ham United will be getting from the transfer.
And it's whether West Ham United would accept such amount of money, or they'll be willing to sell him lesser, because the clause is obvious that Kudus will go for a lesser price if he's going for any club in Europe. But if he's in Saudi Arabia, then he's going for 100 million. It's about the club and whether West Ham United need that money. For the club, they don't care where the player goes to. It's about the amount of money that they want. You know what I'm saying? And it's a classic example is Asamoah Gyan. Asamoah Gyan has always said that when he was at Sunderland, the club came when the Chinese club came.
So essentially, it's the club that needed the money.
Sunderland told him that, Charlie, this money is huge money for the club, and Sunderland is obviously West Ham United is obviously a big club, so maybe they would say they don't want to sell Kudus. But if you want to push it to Mohammed Kudus, if West Ham United are making this amount of money, then it obviously means Kudus will be having a lot of
wages package, and all that.
But the big question is, should Kudus go or he shouldn't go? You know me, I've always maintained that if you are playing football, it should be about the money. You should go for the money. But Kudus has been fortunate to play at a level where his wages is not really bad. If Kudus was earning $20,000, £20,000 at West Ham United, then I would say he should move. But at this point, I think Kudus is around. I'm not exactly certain on his wages at West Ham United, but I don't think he will be lesser than £50,000 a week. He'll be ranging around
in and around 70, that range.
He'll be in and around 50, 70, close to 100,000 pounds. Maybe he will not be earning 100,000, but he'll be closer to 100,000 pounds a week. In my opinion, I think if Kudus stays in Europe, the next club he will go to, he has a potential of earning
a bit more.
Yes, around like 100,000. If he's not earning 100,000 now, he'll be around that wages, and he has a lot of time to play. He's one of the players that he can age and go to Saudi Arabia and get that money. Someone like Thomas Partey, I would tell him to go to Saudi Arabia because
he's probably in getting to his twilight.
Exactly. Yeah. He has passed his prime, and he's not like he's great, but he's on a level that not many clubs will spend a lot of money
on him because he's getting.
Kudus is in his prime.
He's in his prime. 24 years.
24 prime. Same as Semenyo. I think for Semenyo, for instance, there are other clubs in England that would pay a couple of money for him to play in England. So I think at this point and at this stage of Kudus' career, an offer to move out of West Ham would be great. But for Saudi, I think he should wait small.
Should hold on small for that. Interesting. Some would say that if he doesn't move now, where are you going to get that kind of money from again? And all that. You are essentially saying, think about your reputation and career than the money.
No,
Is that what you are saying?
No.
Because that's how I understood what you said.
I'm not saying that. Because playing in Saudi Arabia doesn't mean that you are downgraded. Like, I'm not of that opinion. I am against.
So why shouldn't you go for it? Time is not right.
Exactly. Because you have to check competitive nature of the
league.
It's not about downgrading or chasing money. Like, money is good. I've always said it. You know me.
It's important.
But I'm saying, as a player, you have to check the competitiveness of the league you are going to play in. English Premier League is tougher than the Spanish. Is arguably tougher than the Spanish La Liga, tougher than even the German Bundesliga, even tougher than the Italian Serie A.
Yeah.
Same way I would say Kudus should not go to a Serie A club at this stage of his career. The same way I think he shouldn't go to Saudi Arabia, irrespective of the money. And it's not because I think the Saudi league is, like, you get what I mean. What I'm trying to say is the competitive nature of the league will not let him express
if it will be essential to his development.
Good. It will not allow him to express, because Kudus has the potential of winning the African best player.
Yeah.
Will Saudi Arabia increase his chances? Obviously not.
Well, you never know.
So in my opinion, I think if he stays in Europe, like England for instance, because there are a lot of clubs in England that will kill for Mohammed Kudus. He stays in England, plays to a certain level, he will be able to age into the Saudi Arabia and go and relax there, because there the competitive nature is low. You can, like example, Cristiano Ronaldo can play in Saudi Arabia for like the next 5
years, even though he's 40 years.
Exactly.
There's not much exertion.
Exactly. But if he was playing in Italy or England, by this time he has torn his ACL like 3 times.
How about Semenyo? I think Kudus for now, we say he shouldn't move.
Semenyo should also
the same thing.
What I said, because Semenyo, the kind of goals he scores, the kind of football he plays this time around, I think Semenyo is in a position that a lot of clubs in England would go for him. So he should wait. And he's not also on a bad wages, because he has moved from a club to a different club. So you see, when players move, their wages are well positioned. Sometimes, because I'm not familiar with the wage
structure,
so I wouldn't be able to speak specifically to it. But I would say that he's not earning, obviously, Semenyo will not be earning less than 50,000, 60,000, slightly above that. So that means that if another club is going for him in England, he's closer to 150, 120, which is fair wages. So
he should stay. Before we go,